Obviously, at Our Lady of the Angels Church this weekend is baptism weekend. And last night at the 5 o'clock liturgy, 3 children were baptized. Ariana is going to be baptized at this liturgy. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to baptize 2 twins. So 6 children will come into our faith communion this weekend. We heard Deacon Herb ask the parents and the godparents, are you ready and willing and able, and your desire through the gift of baptism, that your child be reared in our faith? And we heard them respond, yes, we do want this. These children are entering into a lifetime journey. Into what kind of church, and not just the church of Our Lady of the Angels, but our universal Roman church, into what kind of church are we baptizing these children? A corollary question for you and me is, into what kind of church were you and I baptized? How many of you do not remember being baptized? Show me. That's what I thought. Yep. Many of us don't. And these children, except now through all the new media and technology, they'll see themselves in this ceremony, but their little hearts and minds won't remember that they were here. So what is it? What kind of church and faith communion and life are we baptizing these children into? The sacred scriptures give us an idea. Abraham, our father in faith, is sitting under the tree in the heat of the day, and he sees some visitors coming toward him. And he immediately jumps up and leaves the shade of his tree and goes out to welcome them. It's a sense of generosity. These children, last night, this morning, all of us, have been baptized or will be into the generosity of God. God is very generous to us, even though there may be times or events or period in our lives when we don't believe that. And that is fine, because that can be part of the faith journey. But Abraham welcomes these people. There are 3. Some scholars tell us, was this in some fashion a prefigurement of the Holy Trinity? I don't know that, but there's one idea. So Abraham invites them in, going to wash their feet. What starts as a pretty simple little meal turns into a feast day. And you notice, now ladies, I know you notice this, but notice this. Where's Sarah? Honey, get the flour out and make those biscuits. Now that St. Luke didn't say that, I said that. But that's what he said. So that she's hospitable too. And they invite these people in, and they're generous. And they get ready to leave their guest, and they tell Abraham, now where is Sarah? Because you know she wasn't seen, she was in the kitchen. Oh, she's over there in the tent. Next year when we come back, God is going to be so generous to you. And part of the fulfillment of God's promise to you, Abraham, that you will be a nation beyond so many people, as many as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore, your wife is going to have a baby boy. Now, let's look at this. This lady is nearly 90 years old, and she's told she's going to have a baby? I'm not even a woman, and I'd be petrified. But it's the point of it, it's God's generosity. He promised Abraham and Sarah, our parents in faith. And that's the church in which we're baptizing these children, to a generous and a gracious God. The story from St. Luke finds Mary and Martha in their home at Bethany. Jesus comes there because He's safe there. He's welcomed there. This family were his friends. There was an intimate relationship between them. And Martha is about the serving and the taking care of hospitality, and she's irritated with her sister. Lord, aren't you concerned that now I'm going to translate again, okay? Lord, aren't you concerned that I'm the only one working here? And look at her, she's sitting over there on her can. Well, now wait a minute, Martha. You got a lot of stuff on your mind, I know that. But your sister has chosen the better part. And what was the better part? St. Luke tells us she sat and she listened to Jesus. Quiet. Listening. We hope our children will learn in their faith development, as you and I continue ours, we must be quiet. Because part of our journey tells us we must be quiet to hear what the Lord is trying to communicate to us so that we are strengthened to be busy about his work. That we can continue what St. Paul wrote to the church at Colossae, that you will be taught with wisdom to understand the mystery of a saving Christ. This is what we're going to hope these children learn in their journey. We must be still and quiet to hear what the Lord has to say to us. And then after the quiet, we should get up and go about what he's asked us to do. The responsorial psalm was from Psalm 15. And what we sang and responded to is the answer to a question that is in the first verse of that psalm. And the question was this: who is it that will be on the mountaintop with the Lord and residing in his holy temple? It's the ones who do justice. It's the one who feed the hungry. It is the one who clothes those who need help. It is the one who goes about the gentle work of healing and hope. This is the church into which this little girl in a few moments is going to be baptized, as were the 3 children at 5 o'clock and twins that will be baptized at 11. This is about the children, yes, but equally it is about all of us. These children belong to this faith community, and they belong to the universal church. They and we ourselves will always be challenged to be hospitable, to be welcoming, to be about the work of the Lord, but we must be quiet and listen before that can happen.